Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Talking out of the left corner, Karyna, Australia! Now talking out of the right corner, the host of this podcast, Jakai, Mr. Competitive Wilson! Let's get ready for a discussion! You're now tuned into the Grover's Competitive Podcast, where we do our best to highlight how your competitive spirit can guide you to be a better person today than you was yesterday. And I forgot to ask you if you could say this next part, but let's see if you remember what goes after I say that usually.
Lace them up.
And let's run towards growth.
Let's run towards go.
Growth. My bad. I didn't do my due diligence in prepping Karyna properly. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Cool. So I know Karyna for damn, that's kind of a loaded question how I know you. But my vivid memories come from after school. We would go to your house, and I remember my very first love. That's where I met her often, at your house. We're gonna keep her name out of this right now, but yeah. So that's Karyna, everybody.
Hey.
So I like to start this podcast with identity affirmations, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask you, who are you 3 times? You'll give a minimum of 1-word response or a maximum of 2-word response describing who you are. So for example, if you was to ask me, who are you? Jakai Wilson, that's 2 words. Who are you? Competitive, 1 word. Who are you? Passionate. You get it?
I got you.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Who are you?
Karyna.
Who are you?
Strength.
Who are you?
Courage.
And how did it feel hearing yourself describe yourself like that?
It feels good.
Okay, did you believe everything you said?
I do.
Okay, and before we started, you told me how you start your day, that you tell yourself that's going to be a great day.
Absolutely.
So you practice positive affirmations?
Every day.
Okay, sweet.
Every morning.
Sweet. Now, if I'm about to ask you, now that you affirmed your identity, I must ask you some more personal questions. That's okay. All right. Where were you born?
In Greenwich, Connecticut.
You was born in Greenwich?
Yeah, just at the hospital.
Well, no, in the back of a Bentley, and on the street. I don't know, you mean like you wasn't raised there? That's what you
right.
Try to make the distinction.
Exactly.
Got you.
Just there at the hospital location.
All right. Who raised you?
My mama.
Who is your mama? You want to give a name to that?
Yes, Ingrid. I love you.
Let's get it. What is your highest level? First off, do you have any siblings?
I do.
How many?
5 brothers.
5 brothers?
Yep.
Why does that seem like a surprise to me, goddamn?
Because 4 of them I didn't grow up with, but they my brothers.
Right. Respect. And you say, when you said it like that, but they my brothers. Do you have a relationship now?
I do.
With all of them?
Yes.
Do you have a favorite outside of the one that you grew up with?
No. They're so individual.
Well, yeah. You don't have a favorite individual?
No.
My fault. I tried to stamp you up there. My bad. What is your highest level of education?
Some college.
Some college? Does that mean some credit? What's some college? Some people say 2 years college.
3 semesters.
Okay. Oh, right. No, 2 semesters. Okay, never mind. I want to take credit for 3 semesters. I only did 2. Goddamn. Cool. What do you do for money nowadays?
I manage a doctor's office, and I just started my own business.
Let's get it. We're definitely gonna get into their own business at some point. Manage a doctor's office. Is that a stressful situation?
No. I'm great at it.
That's why it's not stressful, you think?
It can be stressful. It can be a lot of pressure, but I got the personality for it.
Oh, sweet. What's the personality that you need to be successful in that role, you think? Assertive,
kind, understanding, but, like a team player.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respect. So, if you familiar with this podcast, my spirit animal is a lion, sometimes a wolf. Now, you probably knew this was coming, but do you have a spirit animal?
I have the same spirit animal.
Which is?
A lion.
A lion? Mm-hmm. What reason being what?
So, I just feel like I was raised by a lioness, and I just adapted and adopted that spirit from my mother. Wow. And, in the jungle or whatever, nah, they're not in the jungle.
Wherever they at.
Wherever they at in the wild, the lionesses, they work as a team and they got to go get the food. They about business. And I relate to that a lot.
I feel like now, like hearing that, because that is true, it's the women that goes out and get the food and stuff. I might have to just be a permanent woof for now on, because like, you know. Okay. Anyways, what would you rate your competitive spirit out of 1 through 10? 10 being like the most competitive, 1 being not so much.
I would say 9. I'm very competitive. I am sometimes to a flaw, but you know.
To a flaw. Can you give me an example of it being a flaw?
Everything is a competition to me. Like I gotta one up myself every single time, and it's like never good enough.
Wait, so like when you compete with yourself, you think that there can be a flaw when competing with yourself?
Now that you put it that way, maybe not.
I thought you were gonna say
maybe
like
not.
Similar. I mean, mine's a 15 out of 1 through 10. I'm super competitive,
Yeah.
and then like let's say game nights or just anything, I do tend to maybe go a little. Some people may call it aggressive.
Yeah.
When it's
Oh,
like,
I definitely get aggressive.
oh, respect. We gotta
I
have
do.
game night together and see how
We
that,
do. We
see
do.
how that go.
But it's fun, you know?
Yeah.
Like that fun competitive spirit. I love that.
Respect. So you said 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do this thing on 3 go. So I'm gonna ask you a sports related question. Count to 3 and then you'll provide your answer.
Okay.
Cool.
Yep.
What is a sport you feel that if you played, you would have been terrible in? 1 or 3, 2, 1.
Tennis.
Tennis. Why is that? Have you ever dabbled in tennis at all?
I did used to play. I just used to like mess around when I was younger, but it was because my uncle used to come pick me up to do it.
Have you ever played table tennis, ping pong?
Yeah.
Are you? How are you in that?
I am not coordinated, so I struggle.
Do you like? Okay, your competitive spirit, is it higher when you're actually good at the thing that you're competing in, or just in general?
Just in general.
So you could be like basura and still be super competitive?
Hell yeah.
Oh, respect.
You gotta try. Like I make anything a competition. Like I try to make my garbage into the trash, and I'll just literally go get it because it obviously didn't make it into the trash. I'll go get it, go back to where I was, and try it again. And then sometimes like my son joins me, and we're just like having a competition of nothing.
That's cool. That's cool. That's how often do you spend shooting? Because it seems like you be bricking a lot. So how long do you it takes usually?
A couple minutes.
Couple
like,
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Some longer than others.
Okay, so in the beginning, I asked you, what do you do for money? You mentioned your business, right? So, Heroin by K.
Yes.
Now, to be completely honest, when I first seen that and said it, I'm like, heroin, right? Because I was only familiar with one type.
Right.
And I had to educate myself on the other type. So, would you like to explain the definition of heroin?
Yes. So, heroin is, it sounds like heroin, like the drug, but it is a female superhero, and it's also spelled different and has an E at the end. But I definitely feel that my journey has been, rocky, and I've had to be the superhero for my own life. So I felt very connected to that word. And when picking a name for your business, you want it to pop. You want it to, raise questions. You want someone to be intrigued by it. So I was like, why not? It's perfect. Like,
were there so respect to that, any other names that were competing with that one?
No,
that just...
Yeah. I mean, I've been building my business for the last 6 years, and I am just coming out with it now. And it's still not even all figured out. So I just think that I don't even remember the name process that much. Like, it's been a while. I don't know what runner-up names I had at all.
Was there... Okay, so there was no runner-up, so at least you don't remember that far back anyhow. Yeah. Have you always known of that term, heroin, or... Like, when did you come to know that term?
I was searching for a name, and I was like, I know what I stand for. I know my life. So I was looking for, like, an influential kind of name. So I was looking at all the synonyms for, like, superheroes or anything, like, big, anything that's flashy or, So I was just really searching names, just words a lot.
Sorry for cutting you off, but just going back to when you was affirming your identity, you did say courage.
Yeah.
And then that's part of it too, right? Like
Absolutely.
having the courage. Yeah, I respect to that. And we might have to come back to that. I mean, we're not ever gonna be done with talking about your business. Goddamn. But yeah. All right. Do you feel comfortable sharing your path to becoming a business owner?
Yeah.
And I know that's probably like a lot of ways that you can start, but like, I mean, wherever you feel comfortable like starting, and what was that path like?
So it's a dark path because I don't know anything about it. I didn't go to school for business. I didn't, I'm learning as I go. So it's, starting from scratch, and you're trying to figure it out. And in my personal life, I just feel like I have failed so many times that I am understanding that it was all for a reason. I had to learn to fail. I had to be okay with that failure because it takes away the fear aspect. So I feel like it's an unlit path. I'm figuring it out. I am struggling. I am getting to dead ends and having to take U-turns, but it's beautiful too because it's all me. And, I am ambitious and I am hungry for it, and I'm going to figure it out.
When, do you remember your first failure?
Yeah, I started making chokers. So
That's
I didn't.
Necklaces?
Yes.
Okay. I
didn't start making rings. I just started maybe a month ago.
Oh wait, yeah, hold on, real quick. I don't know how we skipped over that. Can you explain to the people that's listening or watching? What products do you have? Let's start there.
So this brand is starting with custom made jewelry, and it's costume jewelry. It's not real yet, but but it's what I specialize right now, and what's really gotten popular is rings. So that's my bread and butter right now. But like I said, it started with chokers, with necklaces, and nobody was really into that. Like they're like just looking, just stopping by. Like I'm not gonna look to support nothing. But I was like, all right, maybe I need to find something else. And one day I was on Instagram and my friend was posting like a support your local business post, and she posted a ring, and I was like, you know what? I can do that. I got on YouTube. I started figuring out like the keywords to look for how to make wired rings, and I brought my butt to Michael's, got all the supplies that I needed, and I started making rings that day. And that was only like 4 weeks ago. maybe 2 months ago.
Chop a little extra sauce on it. Oh wait, but quickly, so because I asked this question before you started, is your rings only for women?
Right now, yes.
And you plan to expand that?
I do.
I hope so, because you know what I'm saying? I am heroinless.
And I also brought a nice little gift for Kelly, your wife.
Let's get it.
So I can't wait.
Would you mind displaying that real quick?
Sure, like opening it?
Yeah, showing the people what we got.
Okay, yes.
And she would not accept my money. I'm trying to give her money, and she's saying,
heck no. This is, nah. So we've got 3 rings right here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
3 of them tangs.
Yeah. I don't know if you
can
see.
They can see that. If you're listening right now, hop over to either YouTube or Spotify, wherever you watch, or you can go to Instagram and I'll post this clip so you can see the beautifulness. And now you described it as costume jewelry.
Yes.
Is that just because it's quote unquote not real?
Correct.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Like if I take a shower, or if my wife take a shower with it, is it gonna turn her finger green?
It's tarnish resistant. Nothing will turn green, but over time it gets a little dull, or it'll get like silver because it's coated.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's if water touches it, or just in general you're saying?
In general.
Okay.
When water touches it, obviously you're supposed to dry it really well, so it happens, not that fast, not that quickly.
Okay. Cool. Okay, staying true to yourself, right? How do you stay? That's a loaded question. When you hear that, staying true to yourself, what comes to mind?
It's something that I definitely have an intention of doing. It's challenging, and you have to have those uncomfortable conversations with yourself. Like, is this really, what I want to do? Is this really how I want to be seen? Is this really, you got to ask yourself those questions.
Right. When I think of staying true to yourself, self-awareness comes to my mind, because like if you're not self-aware, how can you self-reflect to, like you said, have that uncomfortable conversation with yourself?
Right.
So in doing like a little bit of research, I do be doing a little bit of research. There are there's a slew of reasons why people don't stay true to themselves, or they're not fully self-aware. So I'm gonna list a few of them, and then I like to ask like your experience with any particular one.
Okay.
So 1, unresolved negative emotions. 2, habitual self-distraction. And then 3, unwillingness to pay the price to gain experience.
Wow.
If you need me to repeat any, I will. But is there any out of those 3, any particular one that you've, I guess, struggled with the most?
Can you repeat
Absolutely.
the first one?
Yep, the first one was unresolved negative emotions.
I think that's the one that I definitely struggle with the most. And it's funny how I heard it the least.
No, but it was the first one, and then you heard the other one, so recency bias. But so when you say that's the one that you struggle with the most, like why do you believe that is?
I just feel like I have failed a lot, and as a child, you go through things and trauma that kind of bleeds into your older life. You kind of carry it, and I feel like I've carried a lot of negativity, pain, hate in my heart for a very long time, and I'm just now understanding that you got to let it go. You got to heal, and that's my journey right now, that healing journey.
So you've said failure twice, but this time when you said failure, it seemed like you meant it differently. So have you redefined what failure means?
I think so. I think when you lose in any aspect of losing, getting fired from a job or a messed up relationship or anything, I feel like all of those things are failures. But I have redefined failure as not something that's negative. It's just something that didn't work at that moment, And before,
did you define it as negative? Was it negative before?
Yes, it was, very negative. And I just felt like bad for myself. Like I had that victim outlook, and it's just like, no, I am my own superhero. I am going to save myself. And it takes a while to understand that you only have yourself. All you have is yourself. Who else is going to save you? Right. We're not in the movies.
I mean, we could be, We could be.
Yeah, we're going to be.
Right. And now that you say that, you said so like being a victim, right? Like I can relate to that, because I feel like I used to be a victim to my own feelings as well. Like if I would feel sad, especially if that emotion was associated with particular people, if I was sad, I'd be sad for a day, a week, and now I say this term or phrase, I choose happiness.
Yes.
And to me, that means if I'm sad, okay, I'm gonna be sad at first, but then I'm gonna do the things that makes me happy.
Right.
Right. So I'm gonna influence my emotions. So let's speak on that for a little bit. As a parent now, just as a parent in general, right? Like, has that affected your emotional strength?
Yes.
In what ways?
Being a parent has affected everything in my life in the best way possible.
Oh, okay.
But it's affected my emotional strength because it's led me to have to dig so deep within myself to find the courage, to find the strength to keep going. And as a parent, you don't always have it figured out, but you always got to figure it out. And as a single parent, you're trying to do what's best for your child, an innocent person. So it requires you to think that much more about your decision making.
Was there any? So is that obviously when you're growing, that's a nonstop journey. Like I don't think you reach a point of I'm fully grown or growth or whatever, right?
Never.
But was there one particular moment thus far that as a parent, because you talk about you have to have the courage that you realize that was there a particular moment that you can recall at this time?
I didn't understand your question fully.
That's cool. It's kind of fast. Yeah. And I apologize. I do that sometimes, goddamn. But was there any particular moment that you had to like, all right, pause and say, I need courage to teach my child this? Or
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you feel comfortable sharing?
Yes, I do. When my child was in first grade, he got called fat. He's a big boy. He's big boned, and he's beautiful. And let me rewind. As he was younger, he was energetic. He was like unapologetically himself. He would dance on the spot, family parties. He was always dancing. When this one child called him fat in the first grade, his whole personality went down the drain. And I could cry about it now because it's so, and it impacted me so. Like, it made me feel like, what am I supposed to do now?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to handle this? Long story short, I have implemented having those daily affirmations, just looking at the positives, encouraging him to just be like aware of himself and just speak yourself up, hype yourself up. You're your own hype man. Be that. The daily affirmations, like, what am I going to work on today? And we have our prayer in the morning and then 3 daily affirmations every morning. And now that he is in middle school, I am seeing glimpses of who he was as a child, a younger child. And I asked him, I just like made a face, and he's like, why are you making that face? I was like, I am so happy right now. Like, this is a full circle moment for me. He's like, why? I'm like, because I see who you were as a child. You don't care about what people are thinking about you. He goes, yeah, I'm getting back to that, Mom. Like, I'm not going to care what people think. And I was so happy because I'm like, as a mom, I dig. I want to understand exactly what he feels. And he was like, I was like, what made you think that way? What made you change your mind? He goes, well, I'm cool and I'm kind. And when I'm on the game, people want to be my friend on the game. When I go to school now, people are gravitating towards me. People want to be cool with me. And they know I'm kind and they know I'm cool. And I got swag. And I'm like, but you have been the same boy your whole life. Nothing changed. Like, nothing changed, and that's all I've wanted you to see about yourself. Nothing has changed, so you're not a different person. This has always been you. And he looked at me and he said, thank you. And that was the moment for me that made everything that I have researched about self-awareness and security and insecurity and just believing in yourself. I was like, wow, it worked. And now I need to do that for myself.
Do you think, like, sometimes, so first off, let me just, that was beautiful. And I like, because I was going to ask you, but you said, no, I dig, and you answered what I was going to ask.
Right.
So thank you. So in that, do you put yourself second?
I do.
And do you believe, now, I don't want to be like generally speaking for everyone, but like, do you think that's a natural thing as a parent or as a single parent to put yourself second?
Absolutely.
Is there, do you believe that there's a way, like there's a balance where?
Yeah, I'm realizing that, we are trying to break cycles. We are minorities, supposedly. So we carry a lot of trauma, and the trauma that we carry, we pass down to generations. I'm realizing that, and I don't want to pass that down to my child. So I feel like I'm responsible for breaking that cycle, and that's the mission. And I want to do that work. And getting back to that question, you put yourself second because you want the best for your child. But I think putting yourself first and allowing your child to see your growth, your happiness, that is what teaches them. Right. So now I'm trying to focus on that and change it up a bit because, life is about learning.
Right.
I can switch it up and keep learning different ways. And
you had mentioned that, like, when your son, you said, like, what changed? He said, Mom, when I'm on the game, people like me and stuff. And do you play the game?
Yeah.
What games do you play?
I play Call of Duty, a very old one. I think it's like Black Ops Zombies.
Why the for the zombies specifically?
Yes, for the zombies specifically, because they never remade them the right way. So
Get it right, Activision or whoever makes that
get it
goddamn
right,
thing.
get it right. Bring them back. They don't need to be at war. The zombies don't need to be soldiers.
What do you get like when you're playing the game? What do you get from that?
I get joy. I'm sharing something that my son has a passion for with him, and like he's like, "Oh my God, my mom plays video games with me. Like that's so cool." I enjoy it. I really do, and that's probably the only game that I play. But I've spent many hours playing that game. Yeah.
Y'all hear that? It is a very fun game, and I encourage men, women, whoever, if you never played the game or you looked at it like it was beneath you or whatever, like just try it and see how you feel doing it, especially if you have someone to do it with.
Right. I don't encourage getting addicted to it.
Well,
but everything should have a balance.
Would you encourage getting addicted to anything?
No.
Okay, so I'm glad we cleared that up. We don't encourage getting addicted to anything. God damn it. Okay, let's talk about intentionality real quick.
Okay.
Good intentions. So I want to know your thoughts when you hear this. Good intentions versus intentionally living. What's your thoughts on that?
Good intentions versus intentionally living.
Right.
Okay. Good intentions could be like I have a good intention on spreading positivity or being a positive person in someone else's life. And what was the other one?
Intentionally living.
Intentionally living is, I feel like, within and, finding your purpose, finding your reason and spreading goodness just without trying to, kind of thing.
Are you intentionally living?
Not yet.
Not yet?
I intend to. I feel like, I've seen your podcast and I've seen people come up here and I'm like, I'm not like them. I am still figuring things out. I don't have it all figured out. I aspire to be things. I'm not there yet. So I can't claim things that I am not fully aligned with.
Respect.
And I like to be truthful because I hold myself accountable. So I'm still on that journey. I'm still figuring it out, and that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to inspire people to be like, you know what? I don't got it all figured out, and I can still move forward.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you just like kind of ran it back a bit, like that's staying true to yourself. You're not going to be up here lying about anything.
Right.
And like just to give my perspective a bit on good intentions versus intentionally living, like when I hear good intentions, I think of it's a thought. Like you have thoughts to do something this way or that, and then intentionally living is you're taking action, you're doing these things. And
Absolutely.
like I am intentionally living. However, there's always room for improvement for sure.
Right.
So like, I have a lot of good intentions that I need to start intentionally living for sure.
I love that. I love that. I love that.
We are all a continuous work in progress.
For sure.
I feel like some people, let me not speak for generalized, but it gets scary when you get complacent. Like you think that you've reached your final form, but like, potential is not capped. You can always update your potential.
Absolutely. And change your direction sometimes too. Like maybe this is not working out, so let me try this. And you never know.
We call that a pivot. I pivot real quick.
I love
did
that.
this. Nah, that wasn't working. Let me pivot and do this now. Respect. Okay. I want to get into a quote, but before I get into a quote, I have to ask. So speaking of intentionality, right? Like the people that you intentionally have in your life, it will have a bigger effect on your life down the line, right? So how do you go about curating your friends and the people you keep around you?
So the people I keep around me, are mostly family. I've relationships with the closest people to me are my family members. I had a child at a very young age, so my life turned. My life was geared towards family versus friends because when I had my child, my friends were all having, young adult lives and going out and having fun. So my circle really is comprised of just my family.
And do you say that not being open to extending?
I do have best friends from, high school too. I have, a good amount, I would say like 5 really, really close, amazing friendships with women. So, yeah, Yeah.
So when you so hearing you say women, like you specifically said women, right?
Yeah.
Does that mean like you rather have relationships with women opposed to the opposite sex?
No. I just feel like I have so many more women in my life, and I don't have women close to me in my immediate family. Like, I am the only granddaughter. I am the only girl cousin. So my family that I'm talking about is like, my extended family, I guess. But I have a lot of male energy, I don't know. So I just wanted that female energy in my life. And that's why my closest relationships are women now, because I felt like all my life I kind of had a lot of males around me. And yeah.
So are you open to like new people coming into your life?
Yeah.
And so how do you suss them out? Like, to figure out if they're going to be someone who stays or they're just like a transactional person? How do you figure that out?
I let people kind of take their time and I let time tell. Like, people love to talk about what they do, what they can offer, what they bring to the table, who they are. People like to talk. I like to see if over time everything that they say makes sense and they really doing that. I feel like when you speak about yourself, you got to prove it, and that's how I kind of like, okay, what you're saying is not in line with what you're doing, so I can't really spend that much time with you. So
you no room for hypocrites?
No.
Okay, what if, so I do have this quote, right? It's if being a hypocrite is not practicing what you preach, living a lie is not practicing what you believe in or living what you believe in. I'm okay with being a hypocrite if it's going to motivate and inspire, but I'm not okay with living a lie. So that might have been a mouthful to... It
was, but I captured some things.
So how, like, because so I took away from, I'm not cool with hypocrites. Like, I want to see the work.
Right.
So someone who is, maybe they're doing good work, but they're not doing exactly what they're preaching. But what they're preaching is helping so many other people. How do you go about that? Is that different?
That's deep. Wow. So I feel like there's always room for growth. And I don't feel like you're a hypocrite if you're moving in that direction.
Okay.
So yes, I can speak all these things and sometimes not line up exactly with everything, but like you said, my intention is to get there. So some way, somehow, I'm still moving that way. I don't think that's hypocritical at all.
Wow, you heard it here, folks. That's not being a hypocrite.
No.
And like so even we was talking about failure earlier. Now we talking about being hypocrite. And there was a time where certain words affected me. Like, let's say manipulative. I can't even say it right. How you say that word? Manipulative. Boom, that word right there. Or selfish. Like, these words affected me. Even.
Oh yeah, me too.
But like, you can always take good parts of the words and redefine them and what it means to you.
Yeah.
Like, is there any particular word that you've redefined for yourself?
Selfish. Absolutely. 1000%. I've, relationships, friendships, people call you selfish. And sometimes it's the best to be selfish because you have to protect yourself. You're your only protector. So you have to protect your peace. You have to protect yourself before anything else.
Right.
Because how can you spread goodness without, making sure and checking up on you? So I feel like people have called me selfish. And I'm like, you know what? You're supposed to put yourself first. How can I be the best person? How can I be my best self without putting myself first? Like, let's go. I'm selfish.
What you gonna do now? I accepted it already. I'm selfish. Okay. Respect. I hear that wasn't the quote that I wanted to read either. That was just a response.
Wow.
So, all right, are you ready for this quote?
Yeah.
All right. Any fool can critique, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. It takes character and self-control to understand and forgive. That's Benjamin Franklin.
Oh.
How do you feel about that?
It does take so much strength and character to forgive those people, things, anything that's negative in your life. So I feel so difficult to do that because I am still, trying to learn to forgive and let go. But there's power in that. And when you do get to that point, you are so liberated. So I am so for that.
Yes. I was about to say, I'm so used to saying yes, sir, as a response. I had to catch myself. I said, yes, oh,
Yes,
damn.
ma'am.
Sometimes when if I was to say yes, ma'am, to you, how would that make you feel?
I'd feel unbothered.
Okay,
Why?
because I don't know, some people associate ma'am with like being a certain age, so they're quick to correct. Like, no, you could just call me my name. I'm no ma'am.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
You ever heard Southern Charm? They say ma'am to any woman, and it is beautiful.
Did you just try to put on your southern accent when you did that? Can you run that back?
Ma'am, and it is beautiful.
I do like a good southern accent for real.
Oh man, yeah.
You got a UK accent for us? Do you have a UK accent?
A British accent. I'm cutting up on my words. Yeah, I can do that.
Well, you just tried. I'm not sure. Listen, we're not making fun of nobody. We're just having fun. So we apologize if anybody's offended.
No.
I'm not going to do mine. Okay. Quick. Okay. Have you figured out how you get your feeling of importance?
Wow. Have I figured out how I get my feeling of importance?
Right. Like, how do you feel important? What makes you feel important?
My son makes me feel important. I mean, he has changed the way I look at life and, what we're supposed to do here while we're living. And he gives me a sense of importance every day. I'm his guidance.
Well, literally, right?
Literally.
So is that to say only your son can make you feel important?
No. I just feel like that's the most profound situation that makes me feel important.
Okay. What's your take on doing and trying new things?
I love to try new things.
You love to try new things?
Yeah, mostly food. I'm a foodie. Trying new things like sports, like in what way?
In general, like going outside your current competencies, being uncomfortable.
Yeah, I'm all for that. I mean, I feel like I'm in that space right now, and it's so uncomfortable. But it's like, it's intriguing.
So what's the last new thing you tried? And don't say the new Call of Duty, goddammit.
No. The last thing I tried was dun dun dun. I don't know.
What's the last thing you remember that you tried that was new at the time?
I tried trusting myself and believing what the people in my corner have always told me about myself. That's dead ass honest.
How did that go when you tried it?
It's scary. It's a journey. It's a leap of faith. And when you kind of go all your life without feeling like good enough, sometimes it feels like a lie. So I'm just now stepping into who I am and believing myself and feeling comfortable being myself. Like, yeah.
Okay. So how, if at all, this is a weird question for me to ask, but I'm going to ask it, goddamn. How often does your belief waver? Like where you go from believing what you say about yourself to like,
I would say occasionally, like, sometimes, things don't go the way you plan. And then you feel like, am I that? Like, am I equipped? Do I have what it takes? So it's very easy for me to second guess myself in my journey right now because I'm not fully, I'm not fully where I need to be. But that's what makes it interesting,
Right.
for sure.
What's your thoughts on expectations?
I hate them.
Hate is a powerful word. So
All right, I dislike them because I feel like, you can always be let down. So I don't want to be let down. I want to think great things.
Right. Okay, yeah. Don't. Someone said before that that's how you set yourself up for disappointment when you have expectations.
Right.
So just going free-minded and willing to do whatever it is.
Right.
Respect. And earlier when I asked you the question about like the self-awareness and the 3 things that people struggle with the most, the last one was let me just go to it. Let me not just try to remember, right? Unwillingness to pay the price to gain experience. And when we talk about price, we're not just talking about like money. We're talking about time,
effort,
or uncomfortability, effort, energy, all that stuff. Damn. Okay, I lost what I was gonna say, and it's okay. So, Karyna, we are getting ready to get into the Lace 'em Up segment. So I hope you got your shoes tied, because I'm about to run you through some questions, and I hope you can keep up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
On your marks, get set, go!
What was the last purchase you made?
Gas.
What kind of gas?
Premium.
Oh, can you recite any movie line?
Just keep swimming.
What movie? That sounds familiar.
Finding Nemo.
When's the last time you made a dessert?
I don't know.
You don't make desserts?
I make cake sometimes.
Oh, okay. What kind of cake do you usually make when you make cake?
Funfetti cake.
That's like when you go to a carnival, that type of cake?
No, like the cake with the sprinkles in it, and then it comes out like a little colorful inside.
Okay, cool. Boats or planes?
Neither.
If you had to pick one to be on.
Plain.
Okay, fruits or vegetables?
Fruits.
Favorite fruit?
Mango.
Vegetable you despise?
I don't. Tomatoes?
Okay, wow, okay.
Well, tomatoes is a fruit, actually.
Right, it is a fruit.
Yeah. Leeks? I don't know.
What would you say, leeks?
Leeks.
What's that?
I don't know.
DR?
I love veggies.
You say what?
I love veggies.
Oh, respect.
Yeah.
DR or Mexico?
DR.
One profession the world could live without?
Lion.
What profession is lying, goddamn? What?
You never knew a professional liar?
I guess I learned something today.
All right.
I hope that's not what I'm not.
I'll change it. Maybe the newscasters or whatever they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we could live without them. They be lying.
She was like lions, goddamn it. How would you describe the smell of your fart?
Ooh.
Not the ooh. Not the ooh.
I wasn't prepared for this. Gassy.
Bro, what does gassy smell like? We trying to get an actual description of what that thing smell like. Nah, but we can skip that. It's okay. Is there a difference between spices and spicy?
Spices and spicy?
Correct.
Yes.
If you were to rename yourself, what would that name be?
Corinne.
Corinne?
Yeah.
You thought about that. That was way too fast, goddamn.
I love that name.
Piercings or tattoos?
Tattoos.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Tacos or burgers?
Tacos.
What kind of taco?
Steak tacos.
Shots or mixed drinks?
Mixed drinks.
Can you say something in Spanish?
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Okay. If you were to go to a bar, what would your order be?
Amaretto sour.
What's that?
It's almond liqueur with sour mixing.
Well, I still don't know what that is, but it's okay. If any, what is one book you'd recommend?
A book?
Yeah, if any.
Ooh.
Or it could be a podcast or whatever.
I would recommend Jay Shetty's On Purpose podcast.
On Purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can take some time answering this one. How do you feel your competitive spirit has contributed to you being where you are today?
I feel like it has contributed immensely. Like I said before, I have experienced a lot of failure, but my competitive spirit has put me right on tune with where I'm supposed to be. It's continued to push me to keep going after all that.
Let's get it. 1 year from now, you have a bottle of champagne. What are we celebrating?
$1 million
$1 million
off my business.
Let's go. I was hoping you said
Claiming
that.
it.
Let's get it.
Claiming it.
Okay, so I'm not sure you're familiar with this part of the show, goddamn, but we're about to get into the opportunity hoop, right?
Ooh,
So like I always say, the first challenge is getting the ball over there. So we'll see how this go. Can you catch?
yeah.
We'll find out.
Hell yeah.
She could catch. Whoa! All right. So now you have an opportunity to make me do consequences, or if you miss,
Okay.
you do consequences.
Okay.
So I'll allow you to choose your own consequences if you miss. What would it be?
I'll do a burpee.
A burpee?
Yeah.
Oh, 2
4.
or 1? 4.
5.
She's doing
Nah.
5. No, 5. You said it. Let's go. And if you make it, what would you like my consequences to be?
Freestyle.
Freestyle. This is good. You can find this over at the Growth is Competitive Instagram. Goddamn. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to freestyle. But let's go.
All right.
You can move. Okay, yeah.
Yep. I'm about to move.
She going for it.
Yeah.
Of course, she bricked. However, someone said you should give second chances. So now I believe in second chances. So you'll get an opportunity.
Let's go. 'Cause,
All right, here we go. This is the first time.
I'm very competitive. Like I gotta make
But
this.
earlier when you said the trash can, that's why I asked said how long you usually spend trying to. You ready?
Yes.
That was worse than the first time. Holy moly! So she will be doing those 5
Damn.
burpees. You can catch that on the Instagram. I won't let her forget them. Goddamn.
Yeah.
All right. So how can people find you to connect with you and your business as well?
Yes. So my business Instagram is Heroin by K, Heroin with an E at the end by KAY, and my website is going to be up soon too.
Let's get
so
it.
that's going to be heroin.com.
Okay, and I'm gonna have that. Do I have your permission to put that in the show notes?
Yes.
Now this is the one part where I will ask you to look at your camera and pose for the thumbnail on 3. You ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. Let's get it. All right. So anything else you want to leave the people with? Anything? Quote?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Let's get it.
Never stop learning and just go. Don't think about it too much. Just do it. You want to try new things. You want to start something new. You want to change your life. Just do it. It's never too late. You got this.
She's saying go take action today. You've been living in your thoughts for a long time now, and that's the first step, thinking about it. But now it's time to take action. Let's go. So I personally believe your competitive spirit can guide you to be a better person. Please channel that energy and use it to be a better person. Straight like that. So I usually end by just saying, woo! You can say anything.
Let's go.